Hey there, this is Lynn. Happy Monday. Today is Weigh-In Monday. I have just completed 64 weeks on the carnivore diet, and I'm here to report my latest results. It has been an interesting week, and I'm going to try to make this a little bit of a shorter video. I am doing a lot for the Healing Humanity new membership site. It's called Healing Humanity Life. We have our beta test group completely recruited, and so we're working on getting the site fully up and running. We have a lot going on, but we have a lot more that needs to happen. So I am working on helping to move that forward, getting courses ready to go, and we've started to do live streams or Zoom meetings. We've done 2 Zoom meetings this past week, and just a lot to do. So it's really exciting, and it's keeping me busy. And in between time, I've been doing a lot of crocheting. Crochet is my hobby. It is very relaxing for me. I know I hear from people all the time who say, "Oh, I'd like to crochet, but it's really stressful." When you're learning, yeah, it can be kind of stressful because it does take a specific type of coordination. Knitting is the same. I'm not really a knitter. I have knit, but I'm not really a knitter. But it does take coordination between trying to figure out how to hold the yarn, how to keep the tension, and at the same time do everything. But once you've got it, to me, it's really relaxing. And so that's how I unwind and relax, and I've kind of been doing a lot of that lately as far as crochet. I'm part of a crochet group, and we're in the process over the summer of creating warm items like hats and scarves and everything that we're going to donate to the homeless, because it can get cold in the wintertime. Not nearly as cold here in Washington as it does in many other parts of the country. But when you're on the street, you still want something warm. So I've made so many hats and several scarves, and right now I'm making a blanket. I made a shawl, and I don't know, I'm just kind of trying to get creative and make a whole bunch of stuff. It's fun. I really enjoy it. But I've been busy, and that which is good, because the last thing I wanted, being forced into early retirement, was to have nothing to do. And back when I was feeling terrible, when I did not have the healing taking place through the carnivore diet, I couldn't do anything. So I'm really glad I can actually do some things, and I can actually think. Now, I have had amazing results on the carnivore diet, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm getting lazy, a little bit lazy, because after a certain point on the carnivore diet, it kind of gets easy. It gets routine. And I've been at that point for quite a while now, where I've said this many times. It's not difficult. At the beginning, sure, it was, especially when you're going through that transition phase of getting your body into using fat for fuel and getting through weaning off of carbs. And well, I didn't really wean, I just went cold turkey. But you're going through those carb withdrawals and the sugar withdrawals and getting over your addictions. That part is definitely challenging, but you push through it and you get through it. It has become easy, and I see a little bit of a red flag for me that, like, I'm not where I need to be yet as far as my weight. I still have some things going on that can very easily revert with my health, and I'm going to go into that a little bit about what happened this week. So I cannot neglect my vigilance, and I feel like I have been doing that a little bit. Part of it because I've been focusing on other things, but part of it because I've had such incredible results that it's really easy to just get a little too relaxed. And I think I've done that. So this week, now a little over a week ago, Dave and I were at Costco. Now he has been craving ice cream. He's not as strict carnivore as I am. He does allow a few carbs in, but ice cream was his thing. He absolutely loved to go. He'd go through McDonald's and get their soft serve. He'd go get some, pint of ice cream, and that was his treat. And so he's been craving ice cream. And I have made Dr. Kiltz's recipe for his carnivore ice cream minus the sweet like honey. He says to put honey in it. But I have put monk fruit drops in. But we had bought an ice cream maker a while back and it just doesn't work very well. So last week, and we were in Costco, and Dave saw a Ninja Creamy, which is pretty fancy. It makes all sorts of stuff, including ice cream, and we bought it. So this week, it was kind of like, okay, here's a new toy. We got to figure out how to use it. And it comes with 3 of their pint containers, and you're supposed to make your mixture ahead of time. And so, yeah, like I made 3 different versions. You put it in the freezer and it freezes for 24 hours, and then you can bring it out, defrost it a little bit, and then run it through, and it makes this ice cream. So over the course of this past week, I have made the 3 pints twice. So 6 pints of this ice cream. It's like, yay, a new toy. Let's see what I can do with it. I made for Dave, I made mint chocolate chip, and he wanted the chocolate chips, but they're like the kind that has 4 carbs, like no sugar, really like dark chocolate. I didn't eat any of it. And then I made, what all did I make for him? I made coffee ice cream for myself. And then I made I had a strawberry extract, not really an extract, but a non-alcohol based strawberry flavoring, which I made for him. And then the second batch, I made more coffee ice cream for me. I made peanut butter ice cream for Dave with a peanut butter powder that has like 4 carbs per tablespoon or something like that. Put a couple tablespoons in it. And then I made more of a tropical that has like some extracts, some coconut, some banana, and I didn't have pineapple, so I put lemon. Anyways, made those, and I'd say of the 6 pints, I ate 2 of them, the 2 coffee ones, and I had a few bites of the others, maybe more than a few bites of the tropical one. But so I'd say overall I had maybe 2.5 pints, which is a lot of dairy. Like literally, it's a lot of dairy. And so I was just not sure what to expect. I am not going to continue to do that like I have been, but I didn't know what to expect. And I guess maybe I feel like I'm overconfident that I can actually do this. I've also been now coffee ice cream has a lot of coffee in it, and so that's a lot of caffeine. And I've been adding back and drinking some coffee with a little bit of creamer and some nut fruit drops. So I'm just definitely been testing the boundaries this past week. And I definitely can say, I believe I pushed it too far for sure, because I was over the last few days having issues with dizziness. And I have found that will happen to me when I get too much of something that I shouldn't be eating. And my orthostatic intolerance gets worse. And, it's an autonomic thing. I feel like I've been having these little vasovagal responses. None of them have been super severe. Like I haven't passed out. But it's giving me the strong message that I need to get back on track, forget the dairy, and get back to eating the way I have been. Okay, so I'm kind of just giving myself a little bit of a reprimand here that I've gotten too comfortable, and I don't want to end up losing what I've gained as far as progress. I'm also working on exercise motivation. I know Lindy from Limitless Lindy and I have been doing our fitness challenges, and on Fridays we do a live stream. Now she did have a family emergency this past live stream, and so I invited Coach Rose from Coach Rose AJ Coates, and I think she changed her YouTube channel. I'll put a link, but she came on and joined me this past Friday, and it was like a coaching session for me because I have different issues and struggles with exercise than Lindy has. She seems to be able to get the motivation way better than I can. I do struggle with motivation a lot, and I have these negative messages from my childhood, from my mother, that still kind of haunt me as far as purposefully exercising. If you are doing that you're kind of a nut. She would call people exercise nuts. And there was this definite, like, okay, you're a little crazy. You're not necessarily mentally well if you are exercising. And I know that seems like a sincerely crazy message for a mother to be giving to their child, because as moms, we want our kids to be active and to exercise, right? And my mom was never against being active. She was incredibly active. Like, she was on her feet all day. My mom literally cleaned her house from head to toe every day. And she was on her knees scrubbing floors. She cleaned the toilet. She cleaned everything, vacuumed, dusted. My aunt used to tease her that dust does not have a chance to settle in your house. So my mom was not a lazy person. She wasn't sitting around doing, watching TV or reading romance novels. That was not my mom. My mom was very, very active and busy. She did not see any point at purposeful exercise. And, she didn't need it. She was slender and did not have a bit of a weight problem. I mean, she said she had a big tush, but, nowadays that's popular, right? Having a big tush. Back in the 80s and early 80s and late 70s and stuff, when I was, like junior high school age, flat butts were in, and super tight jeans and like flat butts were in. And I never had like a flat butt. I had a bit of a tush myself, which I inherited from my mother. My mother used to call it Crisco in the can. Anyways, so the session I had, back to what I was talking about, the session I had with Rose was really helpful. And, she's so motivating and she's so inspiring. And I really, really appreciated what she had to say. We were talking about motivation, and she reminded me that if you wait for yourself to be motivated, you may be continuing to wait for a long time. That usually motivation follows action. So I've been really thinking about that this week, that like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and wait to get motivated to exercise. But I do acknowledge that once I get up and I start exercising, the motivation kicks in. So that's my challenge to myself, is to just start. Just do something. And she encouraged me to use some resistance bands. I mean, I'm doing the challenge with Lindy. We're following another new channel with some kind of aerobic exercise, which is increasing the intensity of our exercise beyond what we did last month. But I did talk about wanting to tone myself. So Rose says, can you 3 times a week this week spend 3 minutes doing some resistance bands? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. That's totally doable. And so I'm doing it. I've already done it once. So anyways, this is something I'm working on, and I'm hoping that eventually I'll start to love getting that exercise. I have never been at the point yet where I felt that, endorphins and like you feel so great. I'm hoping to get there. Okay, so let's go to this week's results as far as my scale. I'm actually surprised my scale wasn't up more, but it's only up by 0.2. And so I've kind of the last few weeks gone up, down, and now a little bit of a blip up. Considering how much of the heavy cream that I ate with this ice cream, I'm shocked, to be honest. So I went up by 0.2. My fat-free body weight stayed exactly the same. So that means I gained 0.2 of fat. I'm not pleased that my visceral fat is back to 18. It has gone, and this is the first time ever since I started that it's done this up, down thing. It has been pretty consistent with, it would stay at one place for about a month, and then it would drop down, and then it would stay. This is the first time I've had it kind of blipping up and down between 17 and 18. So I'm obviously teetering right on the edge of that pound between 17 and 18 with my visceral fat. So, which tells me I got to get it together. I really do. And stop being lazy and start putting in the conscious effort again. So my muscle, again, same thing with the muscle. For the first time, it's going up, down a little bit. So I lost about 0.2 of muscle, which means that with a net 0 of that fat-free body weight, that means I have about a 0.2 of fluid that I put on. So not horrific. It's really truly, I consider it kind of flatlining. Point two is nothing. I mean, from day to day, I'm sure I go up and down point two many times. I only weigh myself once a week. So for all I know, 2 days ago, I could have been down point two. And if I'd weighed myself then, it would have been, oh yeah, cool, yay, I've lost weight. So not a big deal. It's not a significant anything. Once I actually lose and I keep the loss, I'll be feeling like, okay, that means something. So overall, since the beginning, May 31st, 2023 is when I first weighed myself in, which was 2 days after I started the carnivore diet. The scale has me down 102.4 pounds. My fat-free body weight, the good tissue, muscle, bone, is up 26.8 pounds. Of that, 25.4 is muscle and 1.6 is bone. So as of this week, my fluid is down overall 0.2 in addition to for the week. No, for the week it's up 0.2. Sorry, I got all these little numbers. I got to keep them straight. But my total fat loss since the beginning is 129.2 pounds. So I'm still trending in the right direction. I'm a little bit of a staying a little bit right now for the past few weeks where I'm at. I feel it's my own doing. I don't think this is my body saying, okay, it's time for you to just kind of stabilize and let me do a little healing here and there and let's just kind of plateau. No, I don't feel like that's what's going on. I feel like my decisions about what I'm eating is what's causing this. So I think I'm going to just get back on the right track. The dairy, not everybody has trouble with dairy. And unfortunately, I love dairy. Most of us do. It's delicious. But I've got to cut it back out of my life. And honestly, back with drinking the coffee, that may be contributing as well to the dizziness. So I have found overall that I feel better off coffee. And I continually test that. I don't know why. Why do we do that to ourselves? We're convinced and we see evidence that something is not good for us or we don't do well, but we love it. And so we go back and do it again. It's like we fool our brains going, oh, maybe that was just an anomaly and maybe this time it'll be fine. No, it's not, unfortunately. I will probably test it again. That's just the human psyche, right? We want it so badly to be fine that we keep trying it again, going, well, maybe this time my body's in a place where I can handle it. Well, apparently right now the answer is no. I can cross my fingers and hope that someday the answer will be yes, because I absolutely love coffee. I absolutely love dairy. Maybe sometime it's going to be okay, but apparently right now it's not. Okay, so that is it for this week. I hope everyone is doing fantastic and you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.